Ciao a tutti and welcome to Nonna Gina's Food Adventures. Today we're going on a different adventure and it's not me cooking at my house. We are in the beautiful city of Shellharbour. I want to show you a little part of the area that I live in that is absolutely fantastic. Now, this is the community gardens at Shell Cove near the marina where it's going to be built, and we are going to meet the president of the community gardens and his team. So let's go, and hopefully he will give me some goodies which I'll be able to cook with later, and I'll show you a very special kitchen where we're going to cook a little bit later on. So let's go. So here we are at the Shell Cove Community Gardens, and who better to give us a rundown on this glorious garden than the president himself, Trevor.
Hey.
So tell us all about this wonderful garden and how it all came about.
Sure. The nature of this neighbourhood, there's a lot of people who just moved to it.
Yeah.
A lot of them are old, grey, and a lot of them live in small, terrace house type style accommodation, small gardens, and I'm one exactly like that. So 2 years ago we downsized from Mount Kira, came down here, somewhere near the coast, smaller, and I was always going to get into a community garden if I could. So the local developers, they were keen to get something going on to give a community feel to the city area.
Yeah.
So Frasers have been instrumental in helping us there. So as it throws some money into the tribute, there was a local Facebook invitation, who wants to get into a community garden? And so quite a few of us put up our hands, and from there on, we've got to say they also gave us some space, which is really conveniently located to put the garden. And then we've gone from there. And so we started off scraping out with just 8 garden beds. That the container was donated to us, so we've got a shed.
Wow, that is amazing. This is okay. Let's have a look. Who have you? Well,
let's wander around the garden. So you can see our sign here.
Yeah. Oh, this is all nicely set out.
Well, there's some logic to it, but the important things are that we do have our formal working bees Wednesday morning and Saturday afternoon.
Right.
The Saturday afternoon usually involves some sort of a social discussion or meeting afterwards with a beer or two.
I was just going to say a few beverages.
Yeah. And we've got a list of things to do. I keep track of the rain. There's a rain gauge so that we know whether we need to water or not. If we've had 30 mils, you don't need to water the next day. So this is part of our communication with what
This
people
is
are doing.
so good. Okay, yeah.
Some nice carrots there.
Look at these carrots, and do you know what? You can use the carrot tops for so much. You can actually make a really nice pesto. You can crispy deep fry them and give like this beautiful garnish on top, right? Yeah. So there we go.
We would introduce this worker.
And who do we have here?
This is Graham. Yeah.
Hello, Graham. How are you?
Graham's our garden guru.
Oh, really? So, Graham, tell me why you're the garden guru here.
Well, I do have a bit of experience in the gardening.
Yeah.
And
60 years worth.
Alright, so Trevor, I'm just going to pick some beautiful spinach leaves. Look at this. They are just amazing. Oh, they are so tender. If you could just see that. Oh, and you know what? Oh, that is delicious. Oh, I might just take a few more. Oh, look, there's more over this side. Okay, so I'm just going to pick some of these beautiful new tomatoes that I think would be great if we saute them with my dish. So would you be able to help me pick a couple?
Here we go. I won't need these. We really only grow the cherry tomatoes.
Yeah.
If you try and grow the big stuff around here, you just get fruit fly, the big tomatoes.
Oh, really?
And then you have to spray. I mean, natural deterrents don't work particularly well.
Oh.
So the cherry tomatoes are immune to the fruit fly, so that's why we like them.
How pretty is that? Look at that. They are just amazing. I think these will go so well with our dish and give us a really nice pop of colour on the plate.
Yes. Oh, I'll cut some more.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
Oh,
Cut a few more. There we are. Oh, cut a flower.
So would you like to cut me a sprig?
To take a branch, let's say.
Just enough. Now look at that. Oh, the smell that's coming out of there is amazing. Look
What else?
What else have we got? Potatoes, that's what I need. Where's Graham?
Over here.
There we go. Let's go and grab some. He's got potatoes growing. Let's go. Show me what you've got. Look at the potatoes.
Already
Oh,
we're
my
starting to
goodness.
find a few beautiful young
Well,
small
I
potatoes.
don't really want to put them in with this one because they'll get a bit. Have a look at these little gems. Look at that. What do you reckon, Trevor? Some nice smashed potatoes?
Smashed potatoes. They look like babies.
They are, but we're going to make them into smashed potatoes.
Smashing babies.
Well, not really. So, I know that there's a really good Woolworths store here. Do you think they would donate maybe some salmon for me?
Well, they've been pretty kind to us on occasion, so
Okay.
they're a friendly bunch.
Oh.
I'd give it a go.
Okay, let's see if they will give us some, because I don't need anything else because we've got all this beautiful produce from the garden. So let's go over and see what they say.
Excellent.
So I would really, really love to thank you for having me in this wonderful garden today. And once I finish cooking, you can be my taste tester.
Thank you.
Here we are in the most beautiful kitchen of the South Centre of the Fraser Property Management Group. Now have a look at it, it's just amazing. They have everything where I need it to be. So I have actually set up my sous vide machine over there, and that is just coming up to temperature. And in the background here, I have some little baby potatoes that we picked out of, Graham picked for me actually, out of the gardens, and they are just going to be parboiled because I'm going to make them into a smashed potato to go with our dish. Now I have the salmon in the fridge because we don't want to leave seafood out just yet, just while we do our prep. And this is the spinach. Now it may look like a lot, but once you cook it or you wilt it, you just saute it, it will come down to literally nothing. We're going to use these beautiful little cherry tomatoes. Oh, look at that. Just beautiful. And I'm just going to pinch one. Delicious. Now these are the garlic chives. I didn't want to use garlic itself because it will just overpower the salmon and everything else on the dish. We just want a nice little subtle flavour, and this is just perfect. This will go in with the salmon, and also I'll put some in the spinach itself. And look at that. This is that lemon verbena. Now that there has the most beautiful lemon smell that goes really nice with seafood, and it will perfume the salmon while it's sous videing and will give it the most amazing flavour. And of course, salt and pepper we need, and better not forget a really good olive oil. And thank you to Woolworths, by the way, here at Shell Cove. They donated the lovely olive oil and also the salmon fillets. So we thank them. Hopefully they can come over and have a taste when the dish is done. All right, let's continue with the spinach. So they will just be really delicious. And now we can get on to prepping our salmon. I'm just going to get the salmon out of the fridge. Have a look at these beautiful steaks. They are just glorious. Now what I do recommend is always have paper towel handy, because you really want to make sure that your salmon fillets are clean and dry. So I just double it over. I get each piece and I just give it a really good pat. These are quite dry, so it's pretty good. Look at that. Isn't this just beautiful, beautiful piece of salmon? Lovely. And continue on with the rest of them. So here we are, we're just going to prep the salmon to go into our sous vide machine. You can buy special bags for your sous vide. You can actually do them in the food saver. But I use at home sandwich bags. Best thing ever. Now, I will show you exactly how to prep these. We have our salmon, and I'm just going to drizzle it with some olive oil. Good extra virgin one. I'm going to season it really, really well. There we go. And we're going to put a little bit of pepper. We're going to turn them over. And we're going to do the same. There we go. And a little bit of pepper. Now, this is where you need your hands. Nothing else would do this, because you really want to coat each piece of salmon. See what I mean? Everything. It's all coated. The back, the front, the sides, everything. There we go. Now, this is where these bags come in handy. What I'm going to put is a few garlic chives in each one. So that's one. You can do them all in one bag, but I find that it's much better if you do them individually. They get a really nice cooking in that. And I'm going to put just a couple of leaves, probably about 4 of the lemon verbena. And basically that's it. The only thing I will show you is put your salmon in, try and have it nice, as flat as you can. So that's one. Two. And 3. We're just going to put a little bit more olive oil in there. So basically, I'm not going to seal these completely because we need to let the air out when I put those in. So what we're going to do, I've got just 3 little bulldog clips. That's all you need, and sandwich bags. Let's go over to the sous vide machine. Fine. So here we go. We are just going to, now I'll show you exactly what we do with these. If you lower them in, it will take all the water out. Just push them in, and it's only 43 degrees, so it's not going to burn you. Once it gets to the top, you just seal it, and see, it is totally sealed. So we just put it in there, put your little bulldog clip on, and continue with the rest. And I'm just going to set my timer for about 13 minutes. And as you can see, it's just started to go along. So we can just leave that and prep the rest of the stuff. Right, so we're on to the next step. Our potatoes are done. Now I'm just gonna let them cool just for a little bit, and we'll get onto the spinach and we'll get that going. And all I'm going to do is finely chop these garlic chives. some olive oil. Now we don't want this too hot because you don't want to burn your spinach. So we're just going to add a little bit, probably on a medium heat. So that is coming up to temperature. Now that looks like a lot of spinach. But wait till you see how quickly it wilts down to nothing. Now don't forget to season it. Look at this vibrant colour. And some pepper. So we're just going to get this onto the side here, and we'll move on to the potatoes. Oh, that spinach is divine. Now we're going to work on these smashed potatoes at the moment. Now have a look. We need oil to be quite hot in this, so I'm turning it up, and we're putting a good glug in there. We're just going to make sure it's quite hot at the beginning, then we're going to turn it down a little bit so we just get this beautiful crust on these potatoes. That's it, that's what you want. See, it's smashed. Put it in there and do the same with the rest. There it is, look. Isn't that delicious? Now I'm going to turn them over before I put some seasoning on it. And I'm going to move them to one side because these are nearly done. And I'm just going to toss some of these just to warm them through. We don't want them to blister. We don't want anything like that. We just want them just to get a nice little bit of colour while the potatoes are finishing to cook. Oh, done. I think we can turn this off. And I'm just going to put everything here onto the side until we need to plate up. Okay, did you hear that beep? That just means the salmon is ready. What we want to do is dry off any moisture that's on the salmon before we put it into hot oil. So here we are, it's coming up to a nice temperature. And what I'm going to do is just grab it. Oh, have a look at that crust. Oh, yum. That is beautiful. That is perfect. I'm going to take that off and just leave it to rest. And that is it. Let me just get rid of all this and then we can plate up. And I've got a nice new plate for this. I'm going to put some of this spinach there. And I'm going to dot these gorgeous little, look at these. I didn't want them, they're just blistered, but they're not totally broken. Out there. We're going to set a beautiful piece of salmon over the top. And don't forget some of these beautiful delicious smashed potatoes that Graham got out of the garden this morning while we were there. There we go. And that is that lemon verbena, which I just fried off while I was doing the skin on the salmon, and it's nice and crunchy. So we're just going to put some on there for garnish on the top. Don't forget, finish with a good sprinkling of seasoning and just a touch oil just over the top. Sous vide crispy skin salmon. Oh, looks nice that way. There you go. Now I have some taste testers here today, and I'll just move all this to one side. And who better to have a taste test than Trevor himself, Graham, and his lovely wife Lynn. Come on in.
Come on in.
If you want to come around. So what do you think?
I think it looks fantastic.
Graham, what do you think?
Delicious, I can't wait.
Oh.
Is it fresh enough?
No, actually, I don't know. It could have been fresher. It could have been picked probably 2 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
It just gives you a nice even cook. See that gelatinous that just falls apart? That's what you're after. There we go. So let's... And
These potatoes look sensational.
don't they look gorgeous? There we go. We'll put some spinach. Nice bit of salmon there. And some... I've got more potatoes, so that's okay. There we go.
Wow, thank you very much.
There we go. And I'll make one for Lynn.
Come on.
Got to have a little bit of lemon in there.
Yes.
I'll just grab another potato for you, Lynn.
Thank you.
Oh, my hands are clean.
Thank you.
There we go.
That lemon in there, that's fantastic.
Isn't it nice? What do you think about the salmon cooked that way?
Melts in your mouth.
It just melts in your mouth, yeah. And sous vide just takes away the guesswork. So, you know, literally it was 14 minutes in...
Delicious.
14 minutes in the sous vide machine, and that's it.
That spinach got so much flavour that way.
Yeah, and I didn't add actual garlic, proper garlic to it. I added some of the garlic chives to it.
Yep.
So it just kind of gave it that, a little hint, but not a lot. The actual secret ingredient here is from literally garden to plate.
Yes.
Because that's exactly what we did, is we picked everything. Graham dug up my potatoes. And do you know what I did notice? And maybe, I don't know, you'd be able to answer this to me, for me. The potatoes didn't take as long as potatoes that I would buy in a supermarket to cook.
Fresher.
Very fresh.
Well, obviously,
that's
just come
the
out.
secret. They don't. The starch doesn't have time to. As the potato gets older, I think the starch is built up in it.
Yeah, because I found it didn't take that long for it to actually cook. They were just amazing.
They are amazing. Yeah.
So we have a winner, do we?
Certainly do.
Champion.
Best
We'll have to
breakfast
try
on
some
Monday.
of that Verbina.
Yeah, it's so nice, the lemon.
Can we do it on our barbecue?
On out. Oh.
We don't have the fancy cooking, but out the garden we've got a barbecue, so...
Well, I don't see why not. The only thing is you'd have to sous vide the salmon first. Yeah, but potatoes you could. You could always just... And all it is I just pre-boil them, and then I just smash them, and then just in a little bit of olive oil and salt, and just stir-fry them.
Excellent, well done.
Thank you so much. And again, thank you for having me in your garden, and also thank you to Jessica from the Frasers properties for allowing me to be in this wonderful kitchen and being able to cook with not only a beautiful kitchen but the most fabulous produce that I have ever had, trust me. And I will be back in your garden.
I was going to say anytime.
Oh,
Most welcome.
Wonderful. Thank you so much again for having me, and it was just fantastic. Thank you everyone for watching Nonna Gina's Food Adventures. Don't forget, head over to my YouTube channel, Nonna Gina's Food Adventures. Subscribe to the channel because you will get not only these sorts of recipes and different types of adventures, but you'll get tips and different little tricks on how to do, and a lot of knowledge as well. Like the video, and any comments you have, just leave them down below and I'll get back to you with them, with answers to them anytime. Ciao tutti. Ciao.
Ciao. Ciao. Ciao, Bella.